Hello, welcome to our online course, Rebuilding a Blue Economy Post-COVID-19, New Challenges, Recovery Measures and Resilience. I am Abu Jumbe, your course director for UNIDAP. Module 1, the key concepts, trends and conditions of blue economy in Africa. The ocean domain covers approximately 70% of the Earth's surface. More than 600 million people live in coastal areas that are less than 10 meters above sea level. Nearly 2.4 billion people live within 100 kilometers of the coastal zones. Oceans, coastal and marine resources are very important for people living in the coastal zones and who represent about 37% of the global population in 2017. In the Great Lakes region of Africa, over 50 million people are estimated to live within this vast basin. Fish provides more than 4.2 billion people with over 15% of their animal protein intake. Fisheries and aquaculture contribute about $100 billion per year and about 260 million jobs to the global economy. About 90% of the world's international trade is transported by sea. Shipping is responsible for more than 90% of the trade between countries. Approximately 50% of all international tourists travel to coastal areas. The global market for marine biotechnology was projected to reach over $5 billion by 2018. By 2015, approximately 30% of world oil and gas production came from offshore, and it is expected to continue to increase in the future. Ocean renewable energy is a power potential sufficient to provide up to 400% of the global current energy demand. But our seas and freshwater resources are now facing severe environmental degradation due to pollution, overfishing, and the impacts of climate change. These ecosystems have now reached an environmental breaking point that threatens our own survival, livelihoods, and human progress. Example, about 80% of the world's fish stocks are reported as fully exploited. Illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing cost about 20% of the global fisheries yields. That's equivalent to about $23 billion a year. 27% of the landed fish is lost or wasted between landing and consumption. Small-scale fisheries, which supply almost half of the world's seafood stocks, are disadvantaged by lack of access to markets and pricing power. There are environmental threats such as marine pollution and dumping, marine litter and microplastics, pollution due to land-based activities and oil spills, agricultural runoffs, sewage outflows and waste disposal. More than 8 million tons of plastic enter the oceans each year. As much as 80% of all litter in our oceans is made of plastic. About 80% of all pollution in freshwater and marine ecosystems comes from land-based activities. About 20% of the world's coral reefs have been destroyed. Also, there has been an extensive loss of mangroves and seagrass ecosystems. Unsustainable coastal development is one of the key threats on our ocean ecosystems. And there are also climate threats. For example, between 1901 and 2010, global and sea level rise increased at an accelerating rate. There has been global warming, ocean acidification, and ocean thermal expansion. There has been coastal erosion, inundations, storm floods, tidal waters encroachment into estuaries and river systems. There's been contamination of freshwater reserves, food crops, as well as displacement of coastal lowlands and wetlands. Two-thirds of the world's cities, with populations of over 5 million people, are located in areas at risk of sea level rise. The potential cost on damage to harbors and ports due to sea level rise is at estimated 111.6 billion US dollars by 2050, and an estimated rate of 367.2 billion US dollars by the end of the century. There's been natural disasters, which now cost the world economy about 500 billion US dollars per year and push 26 million people into poverty every year. So saving our oceans and freshwater ecosystems from these environmental, social, and climate risks require a new integrated development drive. The need for a more coherent, integrated, fair, and science-based approach to managing the economic development of the oceans and freshwater ecosystem is now more important than ever. There's a need for an active leadership and more advocacy in both the public and private sectors to steer the blue economy in a sustainable direction. Sustainable blue economy can contribute to addressing long-term challenges that are economic, environmental, or social, resulting from globalization, climate change impacts, and pressure on our finite natural resources. So how do we define sustainable blue economy? It is a marine and freshwater-based economy that provides social and economic benefits for current and future generations by contributing to food security, poverty eradication, livelihoods, income, employment, health, safety, equity, and political stability. But blue economy is also an economy that is supposed to restore, protect, and maintain the diversity, productivity, resilience, core functions, and intrinsic value of marine ecosystems, the natural capital upon which its prosperity depends. It is the economy that is based on clean technologies, renewable energy, and circular material flows to secure economic and social stability over time, while keeping within the limits of our planet. The origin and linkages for blue economy. Blue economy embeds the principles of the green economy in a blue world. The blue economy concept grew out of the dissatisfaction of small island developing states, or SEEDs, and coastal states throughout the preparatory process for Rio+20 conference. These countries sought to extend the green economy concept to be more applicable to their geographical, environmental, social, and economic circumstances, and stressed a focus on the term blue economy. Thus, the 2012 Rio+20 outcome document, The Future We Want, boosted up the blue economy dialogue. Since then, the blue economy has built on Rio and other global agreements, including the Samoa Pathway, 2030 Agenda, Paris Climate Agreement, Sendai Framework, UN Ocean Conference of 2017, and Global Sustainable Blue Economy Conference of 2018. The concept of sustainable blue economy framework. So ocean, lakes, and rivers are part of the Sustainable Development Goals and central to the delivery of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and the goals it enshrines. A sustainable blue economy seeks to promote responsible economic growth based on these aquatic and marine spaces, while ensuring social inclusion and sustainability. The blue economy concept recognizes that the productivity of healthy freshwater and ocean ecosystems is a pathway for aquatic and marine-based economies and services. It requires an integrated, multisectoral, holistic, participatory approach at multiple levels of local, national, regional, and global development dynamics. The fundamentals of blue economy include promotion of sustainable use and management of ocean and freshwater ecosystems through a multisectoral approach and linkages, optimization of the socioeconomic benefits from the blue economy sectors, including inclusive growth, gender equality, and enhanced food security, conservation of aquatic ecosystems and associated resources through reduction of threats and impacts from climate change and natural disasters, and attainment of the Sustainable Development Goal 14 on conserving and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development, and SDG number 6 on ensuring access to water and sanitation for all. The desirable blue economy framework is the one that develops a horizontal platform of interaction between the blue economy, international and regional governance frameworks, global dynamics, environmental sustainability, economic sustainability, and social equity. The African Blue World. Africa's aquatic and marine spaces are becoming a common topic of political discourse. The African Blue World is more than just a rich economic space, but also a geographical, social, and cultural canvas. The African Blue World is made of not only an ocean canvas, but vast African lakes and rivers. African ocean space is made up of 13 million square kilometers of territorial seas and exclusive economic zones, 6.5 million square kilometers of continental shelf, and 240,000 square kilometers of lake zones. Africa's blue economy therefore offers new economic opportunities and a better future. However, this future cannot be sustainable without adequate safeguards that address climate, environmental, and social challenges engulfing the freshwater and marine ecosystems. The blue economy approach in Africa is aligned with the following key instruments: the African Union Agenda 2063. This is the Africa's blueprint and master plan for transforming Africa into the global powerhouse of the future, playing a critical role of mainstreaming blue economy and fostering structural transformation in Africa. There's also an Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy 2050, Africa's ocean governance and blue economy blueprint that provides a broad framework for the protection and sustainable exploitation of Africa's maritime domain for wealth creation. There is the Africa's Blue Economy Strategy, which guides sustainable development and the utilization of aquatic resources in Africa. The Africa Blue Economy Strategy is supported by various regional economic commissions, intergovernmental organizations, regional seas programs, regional fisheries bodies, etc. The regional seas programs in the African context include the Nairobi Convention in the Western Indian Ocean area, the Abidjan Convention in the Atlantic Ocean, and the Barcelona Convention in the Mediterranean domain. There is, for example, a Nile Lake Basin Initiative, which is an example of a regional freshwater ecosystems management and conservation strategies. Blue economy and Africa's structural transformation. Blue economy can support Africa's structural transformation if it is able to generate relatively high productivity jobs. Africa has large productivity gaps across sectors, especially between the traditional and the modern sectors. There is potential for the blue economy to make a greater contribution to the economic transformation in Africa. The blue economy could provide a pathway for development, create more and better jobs with higher income, and provide more inclusive growth. Trade as a blue economy engine for inclusive, sustainable development and growth could provide opportunities from the existing social, economic, and environmental challenges. United Nations Economic Commission for Africa focuses on key sectors that can transform Africa's blue economy, and these include tourism and travel, fisheries and aquaculture, maritime transport and seaports, deep sea mining, ocean renewable energy, and oil and gas. Blue economy and fostering social and gender inclusion. Blue economy can be a catalyst for socio-economic transformation. The full potential of the blue economy requires the effective inclusion of societal groups, especially women, young people, and local communities. Blue economy is a strong gender component emerging from the requirement of Sustainable Development Goal number 5 on gender equality and Goal number 10 on reduction of inequalities. Blue economy can be a path towards job creation and socio-economic development. If Africa invests and develops the blue economy in a sustainable manner, this can lead to generation of jobs and economic growth for the continent. Blue economy can be a catalyst for community development. Community involvement in blue economy sector development will not only foster social inclusion, but enable the communities to benefit directly from the blue economy opportunities near them. But we also have to remember about the challenges of blue economy, climate change, and environment. Wide areas of Africa have seen impacts of climate change such as sea level rise, coastal erosion, saltwater intrusion, ocean acidification, coral bleaching, and an upsurge of invasive species as a result of global warming. Climate change poses significant threat to fisheries, tourism, coastal settlements, and infrastructure, a reduction of resilience of coastal communities, cities, and islands. Marine litter, plastic pollution, and land-based sources of pollution have also been identified as a major threat to both aquatic and marine ecosystems and to the sustainability of the blue economy sector. A sustainable blue economy approach in Africa therefore requires integration of the prevailing challenges of climate change, environmental degradation, and disaster risk reduction. There's also an issue of blue economy, maritime security, and safety. Neither a blue economy nor economic development are possible if security and safety conditions are not provided. Maritime safety and security are considered key conditions for the development of the blue economy in Africa by the 2016 Lomé Charter, as well as by the African Union's Africa's 2050 Integrated Maritime Strategy. They can also be linked to SDG number 16, which emphasizes the absolute need for peace, justice, and efficient institutions as key conditions for economic and social progress. Criminal activities such as piracy and armed robbery at sea, illicit trafficking of goods and people, and environmental crimes pose a serious threat to the sustainable use of blue economy. So any sustainable blue economy approach is required to address these negative security impacts on the social development and economic growth of the continent. So a major policy focus for the blue economy in Africa could include clear delimitation of maritime boundaries and dispute resolutions resulting from maritime boundaries, integration of Paris Climate Change Agreement into a Blue Economy policy framework, and thereby contribute to reducing the effects of climate change on the continent, enforcement of existing international laws and maritime safety and security, including the Lomé Charter on African Maritime Safety and Security, need for Africa to engage in the activities of the international seabed areas, fostering regional integration of the Blue Economy through the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, and supporting gender-focused initiatives to foster social inclusion and community integration. So in summary, a sustainable blue economy seeks to promote economic growth, responsible production and consumption, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability of the Africa's blue world. Components of the blue economy include fisheries, aquaculture, mariculture, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, cosmetics, genetic research, deep-sea mining, offshore oil and gas, renewable energy, maritime transport, and port infrastructure and services. Africa's blue economy is already aligned under the instruments of the African Union Charter, including African Union Agenda 2063, Africa Integrated Maritime Strategy 2050, Lomé Charter, and the African Blue Economy Strategy. Blue economy development priorities in Africa should be aligned with maritime agreements, climate adaptation, compliance with existing international treaties, community and gender mainstreaming, green port infrastructure, economic diversification, peace, and security. Thank you.